my name's Amanda. I work here at Lollipop Cake Supplies, and today we're going to go through a few tips and tricks on how to melt compound chocolate, specifically white chocolate. So today we're using the Vizyon Compound Chocolate. Being a compound, it is based with oil, so we don't need to temper it. We're literally just going to melt it and use it, so nice and easy. With your compound chocolate, we again want to use a nice plastic bowl. This is because your glass, ceramics, your Pyrex bowls, they hold too much heat. So they will actually contribute to burning your chocolate. So I just have a nice little decor tub here, and we're just going to break up the chocolate into small chunks so it melts nice and quick. I would usually use a knife for this bit. I'm going to use 2 packets because I can. So I'm just chopping these up into small pieces so they melt nice and quick. Chocolate is hygroscopic, so it will absorb any moisture that is in the atmosphere as well. So if you've got a packet of chocolate that's been open for a while, hasn't been sealed properly, you may find that it doesn't melt very well and it might just seize up straight away. And that's probably because it's absorbed a bit of moisture from the atmosphere. So you're not going to have a good time with it, unfortunately. All right, so now we've got that all chopped up. I'm going to put it in the microwave and just to melt it in bursts. So initially I'm going to do 30-second bursts, probably maybe 2, see how it goes. Once it really starts to melt, I'm going to drop that back to 15-second bursts. And between each burst, we're going to give it a really, really good stir, because chocolate will often hold its shape even though it's melted inside, so it won't look melted, but it will be. So we'll give it a really good stir in between each burst. All right, so I've melted that down, so there's still a few chunks. I'd say about 1/3 is still left to be melted. And the reason I've done that is because the heat of the melted chocolate is gonna help melt the unmelted bits without burning the chocolate. Because that is one of the biggest issues we have with white chocolate, is overheating it too much and then it burns and it doesn't work. So by leaving some of it unmelted and just using the heat of the other chocolate to help melt that out, that is how we avoid burning our white chocolate. So I'm just gonna stir this out and get rid of all those last little bits of chunks. So once all these chunks are melted out, we are ready to use it however you want to do. So whether you are just making bark, you can just pour it onto your baking paper, thin it out, put any of your toppings on it. You can make molds as well. So yeah, just pour it literally into the mold, give it a good tap to get rid of any air bubbles, and then let it set and pop out and they'll be good to go. So no fuss with this chocolate, it's really good. And the Vizyon, I find, has a really nice shiny finish as well. It makes me a little mad because I love to temper chocolate, and compound chocolate should not look like tempered chocolate, so but it is really good. It has a really nice finish. So if you're wanting to thin your chocolate a bit, if it's a little bit thick, or if you're wanting to do anything like dipping balls through it, little foam balls or cake balls, you will want it a little bit thinner, just so it goes on nicely. So the way to do that with a compound chocolate is we add more oil. So because it's based on oil already, we can just add a little bit more. Use an oil that doesn't have a lot of flavor, so usually like a vegetable oil or canola oil are really good ones to use. So we'll just, you don't need a lot, and I don't have measurements, but I do just recommend doing, you know, like a teaspoon, stirring it in, see how you go, and just kind of build up. Always start small and build up. And we have lovely melted chocolate. Let's do that. So if you're wanting to color your chocolate from this point, there are a few things to take into account. Because we are oil-based, we need to use oil-based colors. So you cannot use your gel or your water-based colors like you normally would, like the like Americolor or Queens or anything like that. Because they are water-based, you've probably tried before putting water in chocolate, it completely seizes and doesn't work. So you need to use an oil-based color. So today we're going to be using the color mill because these are oil-based. So you can use them in all your buttercreams and cakes and everything, but you can also use them to color our chocolate. So we're going to be using those today. I'm just going to split it up and just mix them through. All right, so you can use color mill, which is a nice liquid oil base, or you can use an oil-based powder as well. So the Lumos range of roll can work really, really good. So I've just got a bit of the powder here. And just slowly stir that in. It will be a little lumpy, but it'll come out. So we've just colored the chocolate itself. Another way you can do it is once you have your molded chocolate, however you're presenting it, you can paint it or dust it. So you can use some of like the paint powders and actually just paint it to get a really nice bold solid color, or you can dust it to get a nice little shimmer as well. So these are just a few really good tips and tricks on how to melt your white compound chocolate. If you have any other questions, just put them in the comments below and we can answer them. Oh, sorry, this is the introduction, isn't it? I'm just launching straight in. Whee!
Sorry.
Some tricks on how to melt white chocolate. I balls that up. Can I go again, please?
Go ahead.
Thank you. We're just going to break up the chocolate into small chunks. I'm really bad at opening packets.